It all began when I decided to search for a new roommate on Craigslist. My previous roommate had left suddenly, and I needed someone to share the rent. As I scrolled through the listings, one post caught my eye. It was from a guy named Andrew. His ad seemed pretty standard, and we quickly set up a meeting. I met Andrew at a nearby cafe, and at first, everything seemed perfectly normal. He was polite, and he seemed like a decent guy. We chatted about our interests, shared a few laughs, and I felt I had found a suitable roommate. Andrew mentioned that there was already another roommate, a guy named Jonathan, but we hadn't met yet. A few days after moving in with Andrew, I began to notice something odd. Occasionally, I would overhear Andrew having one-sided conversations with someone in his room. It was as if he was talking to a person who wasn't there, but Jonathan, our supposed third roommate, was nowhere to be seen. Feeling increasingly uneasy, I decided to confront Andrew about it. I asked, "Hey, when am I going to meet Jonathan, our other roommate? I've heard you talking to him, but I haven't seen him around." Andrew's face changed, and he appeared taken aback by the question. He stumbled over his words before finally responding, "Oh, don't worry about Jonathan. He's a bit of an introvert. He's usually in his room and not big on socializing. I'll introduce you to him when he's ready." One evening after work, I returned to the apartment to find a shocking scene. The place was in disarray, furniture was overturned, and Andrew lay on the floor, bloody and bruised. Panicked, I rushed to his side and asked what had happened. Gasping for breath, Andrew said, "Jonathan. He attacked me, out of nowhere. He's gone now, though." He winced in pain, unable to explain further. I called the police immediately, and they arrived to take Andrew to the hospital. That night, after the police left and the apartment was cleaned up, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. The bizarre conversations, the mysterious Jonathan, and now Andrew's inexplicable attack haunted me. I was on edge, unable to sleep. As the clock struck midnight, I heard strange murmurs coming from the living room. Fearing the worst, I grabbed a lamp for protection and carefully made my way to the source of the sound. There, in the dimly lit room, I saw Andrew standing in the corner, facing the wall, murmuring incoherently. "Andrew, are you okay?" I asked, my voice trembling. Andrew continued to mutter for a moment, and then he slowly turned around. But it wasn't Andrew anymore. The man before me had a sinister gleam in his eyes. "I'm Jonathan," he hissed. Before I could react, Jonathan lunged at me, a crazed look in his eyes. In the ensuing struggle, I managed to strike him with the lamp, causing him to stagger back. With adrenaline pumping, I hurriedly fled the apartment. Terrified and confused, I called the police once more, informing them of the bizarre transformation and the ensuing attack. When the officers arrived, they apprehended Andrew, who was now ranting and raving incoherently. He was taken into custody and subsequently admitted to a psychiatric hospital. I never spoke to Andrew or Jonathan again. The incident left me shaken to the core. I couldn't help but wonder if I had unknowingly moved in with someone suffering from a severe mental illness, or if there was something far more sinister at play. While I hoped that Andrew would receive the help he needed, I knew I had to move on and leave this bizarre chapter of my life behind me. Please subscribe to my channel and feel free to share your stories with me on Reddit.